Okay. Welcome, good evening, good day to everyone who's tuning in today. Welcome to HRE TV, Tap Send sponsored program. I'd like to welcome everyone who's tuning in from near and far. I believe Ghanaians are on here, Nigerians are on here, and multi-international, all continental people, all 54 kingdoms of Africa has joined us today for this wonderful gem that we are about to receive this evening. Again, my name is Obaya Ejewa. I am honored to be here this evening to be hosting for the very first time on HRE TV. Of course, the host of this wonderful show, PK Asenso, is enjoying himself somewhere. So I have the honor and privilege to take over for him this evening. A big shout out to all the sponsors for this wonderful show tonight. And of course, Tap Send. We thank you so much for always supporting HRE TV. Before we get started, I believe I will take a word from one of the directors or most of the directors who are on here tonight from the Tap Send crew. So I believe Director Daniel is here tonight as well as A Class. So let's take a word from our sponsors.
Merry Christmas to everybody. Well, I'm Daniel, and I'm in charge of Canada, USA for now. So yeah, today will be a wonderful day, and we welcome you all. We try our best as a business to also get in touch with our people, educate our people, and try to give back to the society. And that's what we've been doing for quite some time now. Since inception. Um. So, I'll be tongue twisting, right? I'll be blending stuff. So,
Please
if
blend
yeah,
because majority are Ghanaian, but they able to me assist back and forth. We can switch in between the Chi and whatever
yeah,
language and
yeah.
English
So
as
we'll be
well.
tongue twisting, yeah. So, within since we came back, I think a lot of people have been complaining about the rates, right?
Mm.
A small updates on the rates that I can say. For those who have been following, now, Bank of Ghana is trying to be strict. The coming government and the outgoing government are trying to, I mean, they are being strict for now just to bring the city down. And as good citizens, I think we should do our own to help the economy of Ghana, right? So
Mhm.
we get the numbers from the Bloomberg. So anybody that goes to a different app, see a different rate, obviously is seeing something different. They are trying to bring our country down. And as a good citizen, as I want to be, and I hope you all want to be, we try to maintain the standards that they want us to put. And that's why the rate is not going up like we used to see. That means it's a good news. The economy is bouncing back. It's doing well. That's what I'll put it. So yeah, that is for the rate. Now we talk about great things that is still happening. Nipa missing me yet and twisting. Half a day. Maybe I'm doing them. Okay.
That's okay.
Move on, Chairman.
That's okay.
Move on, Chairman. Na A class ama me tea anum and nipa anum tea ama me cambro for the. Okay, so there have been some addition of some additions of new countries. Yeah, they are tap on nti say receiver countries no bebree abɛka ho and I don't know if it is worth calling some of the names or I mean but can I be calling some of the names?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. So there have been some additions to the countries about 42 countries and then 20 countries senders. Um, let me see. For not okay, I'll give back the names later. I let me because they are a lot. 42 and 20 is quite some huge numbers. But then there was Sweden, money, other countries said they can Australia, Sweden, A class. If you can help me when you are talking, you just mention some of the names. So Mabusia for what that areas in you can just tell them to start sending and make our app famous over everywhere. You see, it take you over the world for a ride. So yeah, that is the new update on the app. Um, since we came back to still get in touch with our people, we brought what we call the Sambra promotion, which ends this 31st December. This Sambra is consisting of three promos. Yeah, Checheniama three. One is the air ticket. You can win a ticket everywhere you are. I mean, we have three tickets. We are giving out three tickets. UK people who are okay. Let me talk about the qualification. You send 1,000 and you're automatically in the draw. £1,000, €1,000, $1,000, Canadian dollars and US dollars. Now we're giving out three tickets. One for the UK, one for the whole of Europe, and one for Canada and the US. So you could be the lucky winner come ending of this year. I mean, you have up to 31st to send that 1,000. And the draw will be done on the 2nd January. Now, the second one is we actually picking 50 recipients. Omo receive sika wɔ Ghana no pick 50. Na yɛahyɛ 100,000 cedis among them. Nti mo a mobɛsend sika no nyinaa no extract mo nyinaa mo din ba bɛda bin mu. Then whoever wins, you nominate your receiver. Then we're going to share that 100,000. 100,000 is a 1 billion scan, right? Very
yeah. A little clarification, Kakra.
Yeah.
So what you're saying is that this Christmas,
yeah,
people can send. Those who are sending have a chance of winning a prize, and those who are receiving have the chance to receive a prize.
Exactly. So the senders are having are having two promotion that they can win directly. I mean, all the senders are the ones going to be selected. The only difference is the 50 recipients. Let's say Oba wins, she nominates somebody in Ghana, right? So we pay. I mean, we share that 100K with those 50 nominees, but obviously those sending are the data we have. So we're gonna base on that data to extract the winners. So that is how it is. So the first one is air ticket and 50 recipients who are going to be part of the sharing of 100K. And then we have 50 winners. So 50 winners who are going to win €100, £100, 100 Canadian, and then $100. So Canada and US. And you can win that amount too. So that is what is going to happen on the 2nd of January. Ni nyinaa yɛ bro nyana yɛpɛ sɛ obiara di ne kama no ɛno ho adwuma ɛne yɛayɛ ne fɛfɛɛfɛ.
Wow, that's wonderful. It's a way of tap send, of course, definitely supporting our clients, customers who are constantly using the app. So we're here. We haven't forgotten you. So director, I think said that's a great incentives for our customers who continuously support tap send.
Yeah, and about there's one thing more. I mean, there's been a massive update on the app that I'll call on A-Class to talk about it because he's been working on this project for quite some time now, right? And he needs to fire everybody with the wonderful thing that is going on. I mean, we will start seeing great things on the app. We want to engage people in using our app. Which washroom you use your app? Which kitchen you use your app? I mean, everywhere you tap and you send. So Bra Kwabena, that is the floor is in your front.
For a moment now, Madro, and welcome to Time with Tata on it. At this point in time, at this point in time, now I'm here to talk about quickly about one of the important things which has been added onto our app now, which is the charity now. Maybe I can't was some astra and penifose or momodia and for BB sang at the embrayin and omodi aba at the moment. And so, my screen is so I don't know whether you can see my screen and can see what I'm projecting now. If not, let me do it again quickly and so I can take you through the work in on the stages and how if you want to do a make some donations to charity, the simple way and an easier way to do it. So at the moment, we'll be able to select 3 charities that are on the app at the moment. So we'll be app for front. This is what you will see. You first of all see the page, which tells you the about baby wallet and one and you notice there is this support charities in Ghana and it has the donate button there. So once you click on it, then it takes you to the next page. The next page, which it shows just as it is on the screen. So at the moment, so we have 3 charities on the app at the moment. And the first one is the Gamache Foundation, and the second one is Hill of Hospital, and the last one is Funland Smile Foundation as well. All these charity organizations here have got its unique role or a play on it, and I will plead and be glad to say you can read more about them. If you want to read more about them, you just click on the question mark now and then open the pages for you. Then you can read and learn more about each and every charity. But if you want to do a donation, just click on the logo or on the name. It will take you straight to the next page, which will be this. So we've got a preset amount there already. Or if you think, say, the amount which are there, extra amount, now personal donation. So after you selected the charity, it brings you here. Then you can put in the amount, your own custom amount. Then click on enter. Then once you click on enter, like for instance, say when you click on the top bit, then it can allow you to put in the amount that you want to put in there. So let's say you put in your £10, you go to the next stage, it opens this for you. When it opens this for you, where it is written, say payment method, one thing I played with many people is with the payment method side, many people don't know how to go through the procedure and make it easy. So what people are normally used with, say they pay card straight away, then they are gone. So if you want to do it that way, you can click on the change payment method. Once you click on the change payment method, then it will open another page for you. And that page is this one. It will tell you the wallet, it will tell you the GB wallet, it will tell you all this, the instant and the bank card, Then you select the bank card, So once you select the bank card, then it takes you to the next stage. Then click on confirm and pay. Then, as you can see, it says what the transfer has been done to Hill of Confanoche. So that means the £10, lucky enough, I was having £3 bonus in there. So added to the £10, making £13, which is 238 Ghana cedis, 81 pesos, have been sent to Hill of Confanoche. So this one, Sikanocom account moves straight. So TapTapSend is not holding any charity money beer on our side or at our end. This money goes straight to them. It goes straight to them. And as it goes straight to the account, they will see, say, a question menu, Yabrua, Adrata have donated this to the purpose or to the cause of what they intend to use the money for. And you feel proud to see the projects that they are doing. You feel proud to see what they are using your money for. This is a little bit that I can say about the charity, And I'll please say, yeah, more enough for near Busan for now, man. Yeah, Atadri, Yatidene. This has come. So the more we are able to promote it to our loved ones out there, if you get hold of the flyer or if you get hold of any email communication about it or any material, please, we are just urging each and everyone, share it across on your social media platforms and other bits, so that Busan forces can as I can, no matter other people, so no almost let me a donation to these charities on which are on our page, But notwithstanding all these, there are 3 that we have at the moment, That's not the end of it. Our doors are open. So what we normally would tell people is say, if you have any charity organization that you think say they are doing any good cause out there, please reach out to any of the team leads, the ambassadors, and the directors. Talk to them. But the most important thing I would say is let the person be ready to go through the stages of, so that employer say start it, then the person have to stop on the way, blah 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 and stuff here and there, because we need to make sure say everything is well compliance have accepted it, it is well accepted, and everything goes through smoothly. Tikakra met me akafa charity, and new countries and Director Daniel Kahun Asam, we know and believe say most of the people your family and friends across the globe. Before we're not live in Australia, we're not live in Greece, Finland, Greece, and other countries, So just to mention a few of the countries that have been added, that we know very 100%, there are more Ghanaians in there, The Australia, the Finland, the Greece, please, let's tell our family and friends out there and let them hop onto the system. And we believe, say, this Christmas, if we are able to share the love out there, the more we share it, the more we'll be able to get more people to come onto the system and to send as well. And I'm sure and believe this every year, just as it's always been, like Director Daniel said, this summer promotion, we're giving back to the community. You'll always be happy to see that we're giving more back to the community again. Thank you very much, Oba, and I'll leave you for now. And if anybody have any question, the person can put it out, then we'll take it from there.
Thank you so much, A-Class and Director Danielle. Sambra promotion is going on. One thing I love about Tap Tap Send, and I'm not saying it because we're here, Tap Tap Send, I love the fact that you give back to charities, you give back to those who are in need, nonprofit organizations. And I am so honored today. We're going to be talking about, one of the charities that the app is actually helping to gain finances to their organization, which is the Hail Comfort. I'm not sure. So with that being said, again, thank you so much, directors from Tap Tap Send. We're gonna take a quick break and continue right back onto the show. Again, thank you so much. Stay put, stay still. We have financial knowledge to really gain and absorb. So please stay put. We have some gem to share with you as soon as we come back from this short break. Thanks.
Your favorite way to send money to Ghana is back. We're excited to announce that Tap Tap Send is back and better than ever. After a brief pause, we are happy to resume our mission of providing fast, affordable, and secure money transfers to Ghana. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Tap Tap Send is working power. And remember, tell your loved ones abroad to send money through Tap Tap Send to stand a chance to win big in the December Sambra promo. Tap Tap Send. Papa no. Your favorite way to send money to Ghana is back. We're excited to announce that Tap Tap Send is back and better than ever. After a brief pause, we are happy to resume our mission of providing fast, affordable, and secure money transfers to Ghana. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Tap Tap Send is working power. And remember, tell your loved ones abroad to send money through Tap Tap Send to stand a chance to win big in the December Sambra promo. Tap Tap Send. Papa no.
December promo, Sambra. Tap Tap Send is the way to send your money to your loved ones this holiday season to Ghana and to anywhere else in the continent of Africa. We welcome you back again, wonderful family and friends, to once again HRE TV. Our major sponsor, of course, is Tap Tap Send. I thank you so much for tuning in this evening. We thank you so much. Without further ado, I would love to introduce to you a wonderful lady. Oh, and my position, I'm sorry, I'm a woman, but I have to say this. Yeah, dear papa. I will say kudos to all the females, all the women on here tonight. without further ado, let me talk about a wonderful lady by the name of Marilyn Mausi Azuma. I call her a superhero. She's a wonder lady doing great things. When it comes to nonprofit and healthcare in Africa, you know, it's always a good idea to put a female first because in my time, A-class is gonna give me this one, but I agree. In my time, yes, we are the breeders. We, you know what, we give birth. We are the ones to have a voice. I want to introduce to you a wonderful lady by the name of Marilyn again, Mausi Azuma. She is the lead, she's a female high, she is the lead female high dependency unit at the Comfort Anoche Hospital, teaching hospital in Kumasi. She's also a lecturer in the nursing midwifery department. She's also one of the leaders of Hail Comfort Anoche project that's happening. I'm so excited to have her tonight. She stayed up all night to talk with us and to share with us the great things that's happening and the wonderful things that the charity is doing. Again, let's welcome our dear friend, our sister, Marilyn Mausi Azuma. Welcome, lady.
So cement ya koto we ya koto o ma fani panina so
that was a video. I think that's a clips of a video that, you know, will showcase exactly what this Hail Anoche or Comfort Anoche project does in Ghana. I don't know if we should want to go back and play the video a little bit more before we introduce our dear sister. So
so cement ya koto we ya koto o ma fani panina so and then it's here was here fiti ase ne so and na uma me sidi ba ko maji uma me 100 cities maji echina mesa maji so ye de gum na ye nsa be pagai so say asma dey so say no ma me ani amre ni anya mo jakada ba ne be say sit down with you so and she says, no, the one, yet 2 years are profanity and a down hoarding. So, the moon said, so, and she was said, and then it's a and no antenna frame, because a mea meba, mea, mepasamia, madame de Tumima for him, not in so, as we to know ye any idea, is you must say, may not free Semuba and one of you. And I'm with you, Safiba, and one of you, so, and I'm with you, Nina, I am never. So, at the end, yeah, ask me to know. The one can't change us at the phone guardia, maybe their whole one at teaching me. So, may their whole war, and you know, can only a teacher and to mine. So, men are none near dear whole water. So, and he will be free about the agenda no abakian, will be free about no idea no abakian, and the engine after ya never. So, the engine, ya said this was here money. So, it must have cheated, may bano or cabo, Sicada was senior, here the feature said, be account near the room, see a better check when the first one. So, Menana Bago, just among just go. Obama home, now me castle me gradi, my buy and I'm saying. Any hospital so one grow him say way up. Now me pese me koye maternity e bi kakra mo. So here me kra ga mbeka cho na ko na ayi no. Me ba no one fan church maternity one no awoka nyina na ko pese obe ya mame. So enra na dwuma one no bells na makom no de me akọ. Na me fa block ni nyina se ne kan ye 1.2 million me fa no maye. So e dia so I'm saying, me does it. So, and run one of none of our consumer friend me when to me a map or Sanana, I can't tell me to miss my back, no matter, no miss my block back on my year. So, and I'm the assistant $1.2 million was winty, many number there. So, and winty, Nippon be a 50 as a cheddar, who win $1 million, no. Ubenya 100 cities family. So. Ayo yakani nyina bomwa. Ibenya Ghana, ibenya ses kanaye. So. Eti wo 150 ni maji na jo wo kese zo be se so maji aka. So. Na fe nyina ya be ya mnaye. Eti Regional Minister Pacho, Kakra Mbeka Yano, Monta Kabaji Discani Biamame, Munya Baji, and before you know Baji Biamame. So, compared to more, a day of Wunina Baji Discani Bidia Brema. So, I may catch a Momo Nimre, Namunka Haye. So, as I cry, I am dead to do. So, and cry, I am dead to do. So, no, Munyai, everyone, Namusha. When the Bama more much me and Yan would know.
Wonderful. So that was a video from Otumfuo himself regarding a bit of what our dear sister is going to talk to us about this evening. As a member of Hail Okomfo Anoche, I guess, project, I believe. So once again, let me introduce to you our dear sister, Marilyn Azuma. Welcome, sis.
Thank you. And thank you to you all for being here with us today. Thank you.
So talk to us a little bit about this Hail Okomfo Anoche project. What is it about? I know it's a charity. A-Class has spoken about it. What is it about? What does it stand for? Enlighten us a little bit, please.
Okay, first of all, I'm going to talk about Okomfo Anoche. So Okomfo Anoche Teaching Hospital is the second largest teaching hospital in Ghana. And it serves 13 out of 16 regions in Ghana. So Okomfo Anoche was established in 1955. And since 1955, it has not seen any major facelift ever since 1955. So the building is iconic, is strong. It was built by G and Walter. That's why it's called G. So G and Walter and team built the hospital, the facility, and it's serving so many people from all walks of life, irrespective of the economic background or irrespective of who that person is, whether whichever religion or whichever tribe the person is coming from, especially the northern part of Ghana and also the southern part of Ghana. So Okomfo Anoche has not seen any major facelift, and within the hospital, within the facility, the A block to D block. The A block is majorly the maternity block where mothers who are delivering come in from all walks of life to deliver at the hospital. It's a tertiary institution, and we also have the primary institution, which is the family medicine, which is used to be called polyclinic. Okomfo Anoche Polyclinic, which also provides primary care. So it's actually a multifactorial and multidimensional facility that provides services for the people of Ghana. And within the facility is deteriorating. The washrooms are bad. I'll give a scenario. If you are lying in the hospital as a patient and it's raining, literally nurses, physicians have to run and push patients from the windows, because when it rains and you raise your head, it actually drifts from the rooftop. So you'll be in the hospital as a sick patient, and you can even get pneumonia out of that. And that's one scenario. Again, whilst you are lying in the hospital as a patient, not able to do anything for yourself, everything is being done for you, a bedridden patient, typically, then there is a fire outbreak. There is no actual fire systems to actually help to salvage such issues. So this Hail Okomfo Anoche project is remodernizing the hospital to meet the GCI commission standard, so that people from all walks of life would get quality of care. The building in its state right now could be shut down at any point in time, but it's not being shut down because of the number of people it serves. In the northern region, Volta region, Tamale, everywhere, even beyond the borders of Ghana. It serves people from Cote d'Ivoire, people from Togo and other places, Burkina Faso. And even we have foreign people coming in for care when they visit Ghana. That tells you the kind of people it serves, how important it is for us as people to contribute to this project. This project has only, the old structure has only 3 washrooms. So if you take a floor like, let's say A4 or A5, or let's say D5, where it's only females who are there, and imagine about 32 or 36 females sharing 2 washrooms. But in the renovation project, we are going to expand and have additional washrooms. That's, we're having 3 currently, or moving it to 6, making room for people to use. Again, we have 2 toilets, but because of the renovation project, structurally, we can't do much, but we are trying our best to actually expand certain areas because the structure is very strong. Currently, the roofing has been completed, so we're not getting any leakages from anywhere. There's no leakage anymore. The roofing works have been done as a result of the contribution from the people of Ghana and all the people, all donors. Then again, Confanoche is a place, a training grounds for medical physicians, for doctors, for nurses, for all allied health professionals, and even non-clinical staff like administrators. And when we come to emergency care, it's the #17 emergency and a center for training for all emergency physicians. So this tells us how important it is, because if we don't, so Otumfuo, which is the Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu, as part of his celebration of his 25th anniversary legacy project, brought this initiative that is important for us to mobilize funds, to raise funds, to help refurbish the infrastructure, to renovate the wards, the inpatient wards, so that patients could be comfortable. It could be a safe place, or it will be a safe place for people to work, for physicians, for nurses, for all health professionals to work. Because when you come to Confanoche at this point, you wouldn't want to go and take a pee, or you wouldn't want to go and urinate in any of the washrooms. How much more someone who is already sick and is in a hospital and wants to use the washroom, but is not the most conducive or hygienic place for someone to use. So this tells us that it's very important. And looking at the kind of people who work in the hospital, we have all the specialists that you could think of, the cardiologists, the pediatric surgeons, and all excellent care. When you want excellent care, you would get it at Confanoche Teaching Hospital. But the infrastructure is not healthy for the people, and it does not boost recovery. So if you come with a cardiovascular condition like a heart failure or kidney failure, you would get malaria in addition to the condition you already brought because of its poor window shuttings. It doesn't have any mosquito nettings. But this project, this healing project, this Heal Confanoche project, which is spearheaded by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu, is going to have a proper netting system, a proper window shutting. We are going to renovate the washrooms, expand the washrooms. When you are walking through the hospital, if you've ever been there, if you've ever been to Chi, which is at Bantama, which is in Ghana, Ashanti region, you would see plumbing works, you would see all the plumbing pipes all over the place, electrical works all over the place, seeing all wires everywhere. But this project is creating a system where you wouldn't be seen when you raise your head as a patient or even as a visitor. It's welcoming. It's a place where will boost the patient's recovery and also provide a comfortable place for people to be healed. So this project is being led by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu and has set up a committee, which includes myself, the CEO, the PRO, the engineers, architect Dakon, Sami Edubuache, who is our chairman for the Heal Comfort project, Jerry Owusu-Ansah, and other people, together with Nana Prof. Otumfuo's Hiahine. So he has a representative. There is auditing going on each day and each time. We launched this project on 10th November 2023. Otumfuo himself, His Royal Majesty, came to the hospital to launch this, to call upon all Ghanaians as a mandate that this hospital belongs to us. It doesn't belong to anybody. Government will come, government will go. But if we, the citizens, do not come together and raise funds to renovate this iconic structure that is providing or transforming healthcare in Ghana, nobody else would come, because everything, as you can see in our nation, is political. But if we come, it will make we the citizens or whoever contributed, whether in one cedi or whether $1 or $100, you would hold us accountable. You will hold every citizen who used the facility accountable. And we have started the project. People have donated since the commission of, or since the launching of this project. And if you want to know the details of everyone who has contributed, it's on our Facebook, Heal Comfort. It's on our Twitter, Heal Comfort. It's on our website, www.healcomfortnoche.org. It's on Instagram. You would find all these details over there concerning the project, concerning everything that is being done. This project is also going to have a fire system, a good fire system. And also we are looking at the waste in terms of the waste management, in terms of where the feces goes and everything. So it's a comprehensive renovation that was led by His Royal Majesty Otumfuo Osei Tutu. And we need everyone to come and support this project. This project is an investment to a child that you are saving, a life who is from all the way, from anywhere, whether from the northern part of Ghana or Burkina Faso or Ahafo region or Ashanti region. You are saving a life of a child. You are saving a life of a mother who is heavily pregnant and needs a cesarean section. You are saving a friend. You are saving your own relative. And you are also helping to build generations, because we are having health professionals. People are being trained. People from KNUST, people from all other universities within country and even outside country comes for training, comes for health, comes for training at Comfort Teaching Hospital. So as the people or as workers, we are doing our maximum best, but if the system or the environment is not conducive enough, it wouldn't boost our morale to pour out, because you wouldn't want to stay in such an environment for a long time. When a consultant finished consulting, he wouldn't spend more time in the hospital. The person will leave because he doesn't feel safe enough to be there, or doesn't feel comfortable to even use a washroom or even have an eating area or an office to even sit in and probably teach other medical students or nurses or medical laboratory scientists. So it is very important that we come together to champion this cause and contribute our little quota. No money is very, is irrelevant.
Well,
Every
right.
penny counts.
Right.
Every little dime counts. And it is our hospital. Every Ghanaian, every citizen, even if you're not a Ghanaian, trust me, we have people coming from, I've taken care of people from America, from Italy, from all walks of life, irrespective, because if you are sick or if there's an emergency, you will be brought to Komfanochi to be stabilized before whether Wara or anyone comes for you. And that's one of the things that happened. So the chief, the Asantehene, actually visited the hospital. He was visiting one of the distinguished paramount chief, or let me say, one of the chiefs, very important person in the in the Ashanti Kingdom. So during one of his visits, the president of Ghana too came to visit. So during one of his visits in 2022, 2023, that was when he realized how dilapidated the building was, even though it's providing excellent care, because we needed to stabilize this individual before he could be sent anywhere for treatment.
Yeah, some more. Yeah, some P. I love your passion for this cause. I love it so much. There's so much that we can ask, and we have questions upon questions. You know, we want to say thank you before we want to say thank you to those who have tuned in on Facebook, on YouTube. I know you guys are all watching. There are a few questions, Marilyn, that has come through via Facebook at this time. But before I even bring the questions, I want to remind those who are listening in to our dear sister, take this to heart. You know, we've seen so many videos of the condition of the hospital. Even before we even go further, if you don't mind, I would like to play this short video so that we can have a visual of what she's really talking about. So if you don't mind, let's take a look at this video really quickly, please.
May it be an evening star shines down upon you. May it be when darkness falls, your heart will be true. You walk alone.
We've all seen the video, Busia 4. We need to come together and really face reality and see what is happening on our land, in our country. As she said, it's not only servicing Ghana 4, it's servicing those, you know, for Ghana now. If you're from abroad and you travel to Ghana and God forbid, BBC, where would you go for help? Let's not abandon this. But nevertheless, let's target some of these questions that's coming through on Facebook. And first of all, they're asking what this is from Phil Good. Phil Good says, great initiative. However, don't have anything against the project, but want to ask what happens to the hospital bill and the client's pay? To know bills, all the bills and the payment that the clients pay, what happens to that? I'm not sure if you have insight, but.
Thank you so much. Thank you for your question. So when it comes to the internally generated fund and also patient bill, Komfo Teaching Hospital is under the Ministry of Health. And it's a government hospital. So notwithstanding it, all monies that we earn, it sends to the central government. That's what I know. And with the internally generated funds, when it comes to, this facility, not that renovations has not happened within certain units. Renovations has happened over and over again, but it's the quality of things that are being used, and people come to also try to do that. Again, we have a medical oxygen system that, runs within the hospital for patients who are on oxygen. These maintenance and our dialysis machines and all of those things, these internally generated funds are used to do all these things. Then again, it's the government that gives a quota of how much the hospital can spend. So the money does not come directly to the hospital that, let's say, the CEO can just go and take the money. No, everything is being regulated by the government. So these internally generated funds are used to do these little maintenance and even pay casual workers, because casual workers, or if we get contracts as in those who come and do the sanitations, those who come and clean the hospital, the environmentalists, those who come and clean the hospital, they are being paid by the hospital. They're not being paid by the government. So they get contracts. People are on contracts at the hospital, and the hospital, the money that is being allocated to the management, they use it to facilitate these works. When it comes to oncology and everything that is within the oncology, the hospital use what is being delegated to them to work. So they can do as much as they've been given. And that's one of the reasons why we've not seen any major renovations. And we're just fortunate to have such an infrastructure, such an iconic infrastructure that is very strong. The concrete work and everything is so strong. That is why the building is still standing. But if HEFRA should come, HEFRA has been there on countless occasions, that this hospital needs to be shut down. But it can't be shut down because of the number of people who depend on this facility. The number of people who depend on this facility from every walks of life. Like a mother who is about to deliver, you can't say no. You can't say you're shutting a facility because we can't meet the standard that we need to meet. And all these things are some of the things that the hospital does. The little that I know that this internally generated fund is being used for. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Thank you so much. You heard it from the wonderful lady. The organization's name is Hail Komfo. Hail Komfo, Anoche Project. If you go on the Tap Send app, just like if you're just tuning in the beginning, we showed you how the app works. So if it's sending money to your loved ones back home this holiday, you have the option to make a generous amount of contribution towards this initiative, Hail or Komfo Anoche Project. Even a small amount goes towards something. We want to see Ghana improving, and do you understand? We have to take steps, even if it's $1 a day. Every single day, if you give $1, it's something. And trust me, you'll get many, many, many blessings from above. Thank you again. It's an honor once again. I don't know if there's any more questions. So we will question B, any contribution. Feel free and ask away if you have any questions, contributions. Those who are tuning in on YouTube, Facebook, on Zoom, if you have any questions, please share your questions, share your thoughts. Our dear sister will share her information later on about the organization. Again, it's on the app. If you want to send money, if you want to send something through the app, you are more than welcome to do so. Marilyn, I want to say thank you so much for the wonderful work that you are doing. We hope that Tap Tap Send will be able to come through for you on this organization. Those who are listening will also be able to come through, donate, and let's help build Ghana. So my main year, it starts from you, yourself. So look in the mirror, look at yourself and see what you can do to help Omai Ghana to grow. Those who are coming from Togo comes to Komfo Anokye Hospital for help. Those from neighboring countries come to Komfo Anokye. You're so as, your own people, your own family members, friends that you know. Imagine the maternity ward, I believe she had told me the maternity ward has been gradually, being fixed, if I stay corrected, Marilyn, but I believe they've done it. And yes, so trust me, your money is going in good hands. It's not going to be mishandled. So if you have any contribution whatsoever, please donate, and you'll be proud of yourself, and you'll make Ghana proud, and you'll make Tap Tap Send also proud. Again, thank you so much. Please don't leave. Continue to listen in. We're going to take a short break again. If nobody has a question, let's check the chat and see if there's any questions. But if nobody has a question, we'll take a quick break and come back. Today, I am honored again to be chatting with wonderful people, knowledgeable people, all to improve not only your life, but the lives of other people through our dear initiative, Hail Komfo Anokye. And also, Dr. Heinz Boateng is coming up. If you stay to the end of the show, there's a surprise for you. So please stay put. We'll be right back again. Investing Tutor, the one and only, my good friend, Dr. Hans Boateng, is also coming up. Marilyn, I know Sadia, again, we want to say thank you.
There's a hand up.
Last minute words.
Yes. There's a hand up. Yes.
There's a hands up. Okay, Mr. Richard.
Hello, how you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
Very, thanks for asking. And great presentation, Marilyn Azuma. You've done a very good job. Appreciate it. It's not really a question, but it's a matter of a suggestion and opinion at the same time. I wanted to, I think I like the initiative taken by Tap Tap to donate. It's gonna go far, like, and wide. However, I am suggesting if such a great initiative, they can have representations, like representatives in the major countries, let's say Europe, North America, things like that, or Australia, have a representative, right? That can go around and communicate with little Ghanaian, what's it called? The Ghanaian Union, because there's a lot of local groups within. I live in Canada, by the way, so there's a lot of local groups, to mind the gun, the airware, and all of those things. If we could have a representative through the Ghanaian Union to communicate to those local groups that we have here, to actually make this known more, and then in a way we can actually have, or let's say, take money out of these groups, would go a long way, because I have seen people come together and mobilize funds in that, and it goes a very long way. Going to Asante Mine, for instance, is a very strong cultural group here in Canada. Very strong. The Ga group, extremely strong as well. So if we have a representation from Asante Mine that has been given authority to come over, or they can speak through the Ghana Union to have a representation to go around and actually make this known, to take it very seriously. Based on the video that I'm seeing, it's very appalling, right? It's in a dilapidated state. Go around, share the message. We can do what we can, but there are some people that don't have the app. I know so many people that have access to sending money. They still go the old way. They have no access to app, so they wouldn't know, right? So if this will be known through TikTok, more noise should be made, not just the one that is still 2 4 made, and then that was tapped doing that.
TikTok, with people sharing that, and then creating that awareness, and also having that representation, Europe, North America, and then Asia. That would be a great idea. So we can solicit fund quick and out. That's just an opinion that I want to share.
Thank you so much. That's very, very, very great idea. So Marilyn, I guess you have work to do. I'm sure there's something already in place, but you know, as you see, people are receptive. People want to help. So maybe we can start there and talk to the different organizations, cool for now, what different continents, we can talk to them. But maybe you have something already initiated, but you can share as well.
Yes, so it's a great idea, and thank you so much, Glovers, for your contribution. We've started that. We've started with the Ashanti Mine in the UK. I mean, I think Europe with Holland, they contributed. So it's still ongoing. What we are looking at is doing a massive fundraising again, especially in the diaspora and other regions. Now we are focused. We're still receiving, funds, and because of the dollar and all those things, even though because of the dollar and all those things, it makes work also harder, because even though we had a target of $10 million, but because of how things are, the money is quite depreciating by day, and things are also becoming hard every day. So it's an excellent idea. We've done the A4. We are still on the A4, A5, which is the maternal block, and the A3, which is the maternal, that is the what do you call it? The maternal block, which is also part of the maternal block. And we had oxygen situation, which always makes the emergency very congested. But this project is seeing to it that every bed has an oxygen port, so that we don't have to wait till someone dies or someone doesn't need, or someone is stabilized before we could get a bed for a patient. And we are changing the beds. I didn't mention it, but we are changing the beds. We are changing the biomedical equipment, like the cardiac monitors and all that. So it's not only in cash, but if people want to donate, they could just get in touch with Hugh Konfanoche. Our doors are always open. Konfanoche is open. Our CEO, Professor Otria Mensa, his doors are open. Our chairman, 24/7, you can always contact him. You could always contact any team member. You could also get to Otumfuo himself, His Royal Majesty, and donations will be received. So thank you so much. And that's our plan for 2025. Thank you so much.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Richard, for that question. Again, so Bibiara, another contribution, any questions towards what this wonderful charity is doing, feel free, ask away. We will definitely leave more information after the show so that you can know more about this initiative. We have work to do. We have a lot of work to do, but we're taking steps. The problem has been identified, and want to say we're taking gradual step. Again, $1 is all it takes. Just take $1. Start from there and donate. The app is being used as as a way to get funds to this charity. There are other charities that TapTap10 does support. So we thank you again. Thank you so much for using this time wisely and joining us. But Marilyn, well done, well spoken. You spent this time with us, and we are now eager and determined to go out there and conquer Konfanoche. I believe in 5 years from now, we'll have a new building. So amen to that, yes. Again, thank you also. Well, thank you, Marilyn. Thank you for staying up with us. Have a wonderful
thank you all for having me.
We'll leave your information as well. So stay tuned. Again, we have Dr. Hans Boateng. I promise you, you are going to find financial liberation, financial freedom. This is a good friend of mine. He goes by the name of the Investing Tutor. If you don't know him, you are going to know, and you are going to need to know who Dr. Hans Boateng is. He's a wonderful man. And I tell you, I wish I met Hans Boateng when I was younger, when I was even in college, maybe high school. I think I would have been a millionaire by now, because the people that this man has helped, and no lie to this, the people this man has helped are on their way to the top to become millionaires in America. So it could be you, could be your friend, it could be your sister, it could be your brother. So again, we're going to take a short break, and Dr. Hans Boateng is going to join us. So please stay put. We'll be right back as we take a short break.
Your favorite way to send money to Ghana is back. We're excited to announce that Tap Tap Send is back and better than ever. After a brief pause, we are happy to resume our mission of providing fast, affordable, and secure money transfers to Ghana. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Tap Tap Send is working power. And remember, tell your loved ones abroad to send money through Tap Tap Send to stand a chance to win big in the December Sambra promo. Tap Tap Send. Papa no.
Okay, again, we are back. Once again, I want to welcome you. My name is Oba. I am just being a guest host today on HRE TV, sponsored by Tap Tap Send. Without further ado, he needs no introduction, but I must introduce him well. Dr. Hans Boateng goes by the name the Investing Tutor. He is a wonderful man who is making differences, a lot of differences in the lives of young professionals, or anyone who has retired, who's looking for an investment, who's looking to even retire early. And even while they've retired, they're looking for ways to just be financially free. So without further ado, let's give a clap of a hand and a wonderful welcome to my dear friend, Dr. Hans Boateng, aka the Investing Tutor. Doctor, are you on?
Yes, Oba, are you able to hear me?
I can hear you fine. Oh my goodness. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Excellent.
I hope I said what I just wanted to say, a brief introduction so you can take it away. When I say Investing Tutor, Doctor, what does it mean?
Yeah, I was surprised. I'll never forget. I went to Google and I remember thinking that, anyone can find or get access to someone who can educate them or tutor them on investing. Back in Ghana, when we were growing up, when you didn't know a topic, your parents will hire, an extra classes teacher, right? A tutor, essentially. So I was very surprised that we didn't have that kind of individual, because I went to Google, I searched investment tutor, because I just assumed that person was out there. And to my surprise, there wasn't a single investment tutor in America. And I felt it was placed on my heart that was something that I needed to do, to help people in our community understand how to invest and how to build wealth. Listening to Marilyn talk about, the state of their Confornoche Hospital and individuals in our community rising up to, support in terms of funds. I can already hear what individuals are going to be saying in their mind. Oh, America is hard. Already I'm supporting so many relatives. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. And the reason people will use that excuse is because they haven't taken time to understand how money works in America, how to leverage it, grow it, and be able to make a difference with it, right? So when I was listening to Marilyn, the only thing I was wondering in my mind was, Marilyn, how much are you looking to raise so that I can quickly calculate how much I can support, right? So it's just a different perspective. Once you truly take the time to understand how money works, then you do whatever you have to do to be able to achieve whatever goal it is that you have, right? I just feel so bad because for so many people in our community, we think of America as this place that we're coming to come and work, right?
Yeah.
The problem with that is it limits you to, when you are not working, you are not able to earn anything.
Right.
And so then it's like this treadmill or this cycle. You work, you get paid. You work, you get paid. So that means if you don't work, then what? You don't get paid.
Right.
I'm trying to help people in our community realize that you can begin to set a little bit of the money that you are earning by working aside so so that at a certain point, that money, as it's growing over time, will eventually earn much more than you can going into work. It's just unfortunate that this simple concept is not taught to people in our community. And it doesn't matter whether a person is working minimum wage or a person is making 100,000 or hundreds of thousands of dollars as a software engineer at Apple, Microsoft, Google. It doesn't matter. All of them are the same. When they get older and they can no longer work, it's like, that's it. You're no longer earning the 200,000, the 300,000. So it's no different from that person, from someone who is a minimum wage worker. It's just that the individual earning much more right now drives a very fancy car. They are not able to think ahead to realize that a time is going to come where, like, that money is going to stop. What are you going to do, right? So I'm just trying to go out there, tell individuals in our community, invest, build wealth, because it's something our parents didn't know. So how can they teach us? Does that make sense? So yes, that kind of gives you a little bit about what I do in terms of investment tutoring and helping people in our community build wealth.
So when we talk about investment, people don't really understand what does it mean by investment. Okay, at the end, no, like me should be more to gain money. Like, break it down to some people who are on here who really doesn't understand what is an investment. What is it, please?
Yeah, an investment is a vehicle used for growth. So you're putting capital into something that grows. So most individuals listening to me who I'm, going to guess are Ghanaian, for them, the only investment they know is what? Land or property, right? So the land or the property is being used as a vehicle for growth, right?
Yes.
The thing though is that in the US, there's a much better vehicle for growth, the stock market. For example, most people don't know this. The top 10% in America, so individuals who earn $100,000 or more, they hold 93% of all the stocks in the stock market.
Wait, repeat that again, please.
Individuals in the top 10%, they own 93% of all stocks in America. So stocks or the stock market is the vehicle that has created so much wealth, right? The thing though is that our stock market back home isn't as sophisticated. So we typically go for what? Gold or land, property. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And because of that, when we travel abroad as immigrants, we come to America and we're trying to kind of do the exact same thing. Our main goal is to be able to buy a house someday here in America and also back home. And those are the only two things. Meanwhile, if an individual, let me give you this example about, if an individual had invested $1,000 just one time into Amazon in 1997, $1,000 one time, you don't even put any money in ever again, they'll have $2.8 million today. $2.8 million. Yes. The stock market is one of the best ways to be able to create wealth. It has unlocked so much wealth for individuals. So when individuals listening to me hear the word investing, just think of it as a vehicle that unlocks growth, or a vehicle that you put your capital into, and then that capital grows for you. It's just that most individuals might say, okay, what vehicle? Okay, Doc, you are saying stock market, but what stock? Because as for Amazon, Amazon is a big company. Apple is a big company. Microsoft is a big company. So, Doc, what should I buy? What should I invest in, right? The questions can go on and on. Not to mention, I also believe that in terms of trends of wealth creation, the best time to have bought land or property, let's say in America, or maybe even in London, or even Ghana, was back in the day, like way back. In America, it was around 1950. One plot of land cost about $3,000 in America.
Wow.
Most people won't believe that,
Wow.
right? So that was a great wealth building vehicle. Then the stock market took over around 1990s, late 1990s. That was then a phenomenal vehicle for wealth creation for so many individuals. I believe that there's another asset or property that is beginning to bloom. And it hits me and it makes me sometimes sad that so many individuals in our community don't even see this transition happening. Right?
How?
And I'm trying to
How are they supposed to see it, Doc?
and I'm trying to bring it to their attention. So for those of you who are wondering, I'm talking about digital assets or digital property like Bitcoin. And I know we'll discuss it later, but so to just note how wealth has been created, the individuals who were buying homes in 1950 in America or in Ghana, let's say 1991, right?
Yeah.
It's appreciated so much. Then it transitioned over to the stock market around the late 90s. The individuals who were buying those stocks at that time created a ton of wealth. The next asset is going to be digital assets. And I don't want people in our community to miss this.
Wow. Wow. So much gem. Dr. Hans, today you're going to school us, because you having such knowledge, you need to seriously break it down. So me, you know, when should one begin this journey on investing? When should you even begin to discuss or to have some kind of idea and knowledge about this investment? Where do you go? Where do you start?
So everyone should start as soon as possible, right? I would say that the best time to have started was a very long time ago. The second best time is right now, right? In terms of where do you go, I guess that's why I feel in my heart that I was called to do what I do, because there's not a lot of people who will commit their life to wanting to help people in our community build wealth. You know, the initiative for starting the Investing Tutor was simply because I asked myself, what can I do to help Ghana, right? What can I do to help Ghana? And the answer was placed on my heart. Help a lot of Ghanaians become millionaires, because Ghanaians are going to take half of that money back home eventually, right? Help a lot of Ghanaians become millionaires. And just by doing that, you are going to help Ghana. So in my mind, I'm like, I want to help as many people as possible become millionaires. Yes, I have a program that individuals who want to dive deeper into can sign up for. But those who follow me just on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, I mean, I share so much information for free where individuals don't even need to pay me anything to begin investing, right? So everyone needs to begin as soon as possible. If someone is listening to me and they are in the US, download the Robinhood app, right? It's a phenomenal platform for investing. If you're in the UK, download the Robinhood app. If you're in Ghana, you can check out Bamboo. It's a phenomenal app also for investing. Once you have, those apps, I guess the next question is, what should I invest in?
Exactly.
So I'll share with you, I like to say the most popular investment. So if you all want to write this down, the ticker symbol, which essentially is a series of letters that you type into an investment app to look up that investment. The ticker symbol is IVV. So I as in ink, V as in Victor, V as in Victor. So IVV. This is the way to invest in the entire US economy. So when you buy IVV, you own the US economy and all of the best companies in the US. This investment fund has been compounding at about 10% for the past 100 years. It has never lost money ever before.
Wow.
Yes. In fact, someone who's being paid $7 an hour, so meaning they earn about $1,000 a month. If that individual from age 18 to age 65 is investing $100 of their 1,000, just $100 into this IVV over 47 years, they'll have $1 million by the time they reach age 65, right? So I'm sharing something with you, which is the simplest, way to begin investing. Beyond the investment fund, if an individual wants to go to the next level, then it's maybe buying individual stocks, actual companies. It takes me about an hour or 2 hours to even teach this in my program. So the simplest thing that I'll say to anyone listening is this, without like an in-depth analysis. Look at your life. Which companies are you consistently buying their products and services? Right? What companies do you absolutely love? Go and buy the stock. Okay. So I'm just making it super simple. There are people out there who are always Netflixing and chilling, but they don't own Netflix stock. There are people who will buy every single new iPhone. Funny enough, they don't own a single dollar of Apple shares, right? Individuals are constantly, they don't even think about Amazon Prime, whether to sign up or not, but they don't own Amazon shares, right? People are flexing with their Tesla. They don't own Tesla shares. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? Alba. Come on, we need to be serious.
I will say a kakra. We're not laughing just because of anything, but you see, you're using terms I think that most of our viewers and listeners understand. But when you say investor, like someone doesn't even know the journey to understanding this whole concept of investment. Like, you talked about the Robinhood, app. Someone doesn't even know what is Robinhood app. Okay. Then what? You get me? So I think it's a bit of gaps in between the knowledge that we're receiving and the hesitancy to also move forward. So please, I hate to do this, but if you can break it to the simplest form, if time permits,
Sure, yeah. Yes, absolutely. So the Robinhood app think of it as a bank account for buying investments. Okay, so it's very, very simple. I said Robinhood, but let me share another thing that would also blow your mind. You can even use Cash App. Cash App has an investment account.
That's right.
You go to Cash App, the bottom left-hand side, the home button. You press it, and it's going to say stocks. It's also going to say Bitcoin. So literally, you can go to the stocks, and you can buy any company stock that you want. Or you can even type in IVV and be able to buy exposure to the entire US economy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So the Robinhood or the Cash App is, I don't want to use terminologies, I don't want to use terminologies that will go over people's heads, but think of it as a bank account for buying investments, buying and holding investments, right? And like I said, an investment is just a vehicle for growth. So you're putting money into something that grows over time.
Wow. Dr. Hans. Today you're going to shake the household. We have about 50 people on Zoom right now, and I know Facebook and YouTube are also tuned in. So again, Dr. Hans did not just wake up one day and say, but I guess it was a revelation. It's his passion. Let's get a little background of where you come from. What made you, I know you mentioned a little bit like, you came in because it was something. What can you give back to Ghana? Let people know exactly why you're so qualified. And I know why. the name doctor doesn't just come just easy. You earn that title. So just a little brief of your background and all that stuff, if you don't mind.
Yeah. I grew up in Ghana. I like to say I was born in an upper middle class household, right? So literally, I had my own driver, in Ghana.
Dr. Hans.
I was a Dada B, yeah. So we went from upper middle class in Ghana, and when we moved to America, I was expecting to live life like the Home Alones that we had watched, just live a good life in America. And when we got to America, we ended up in Bronx, New York, and we didn't even have our own place. We had to share a 2-bedroom apartment with another family. So it was kind of like a shock. This is the America that you told me that we're coming to. America is going to change our lives and this and that. And there's a downgrade of my life. We went from the top 10% in Ghana to the bottom 10% in America. And individuals might say, is it because your parents made any poor choices financially? No. It's simply because they exchanged the money that they had in cedis into dollars. So that 80 to 90% exchange rate devaluation ends up, cutting into all of their or majority of their savings. And when I got to America, everyone was saying, hey, Hans, if you want to be successful here, go to school, get a good job, work hard, and then what? Build a house in Ghana. So it was a stereotypical thing. But everyone who was giving me that advice didn't have wealth. So inside me, I just knew that that's probably not the full truth. There has to be something missing because no one has wealth. Everyone around me seems to be struggling. This person is going to work. Another person is going to work. People have 2 to 3 jobs. So I was like, I think maybe there's something missing, right? So there was a curiosity to want to discover what is missing. There's a statement that when the student is ready, the teacher will appear.
Yeah.
So around that time, I, met this individual who became a mentor. And he told me, Hans, go and buy this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. The book changed my life.
Wow.
I learned so much from that book, but I didn't stop there. I went on just based on that inspiration to read over 500 books and then studied over 50,000 financial articles, journals, blogs. And during that time, I went to university, so Bachelor of Science, Biomedical Science to be exact. Then I went and did a Doctor of Pharmacy. And then I went and did a Path of Distinction MBA at William & Mary.
Wow.
So after getting all of these degrees, I just assumed I was going to go and work for someone, but God had other options, had other plans, if I should say.
Yeah.
And that was when I went to Google and searched the investment tutor. And I had to tell my wife, we were just newly married at that time, that the husband that you married, that you were expecting would be earning about $127,000, right out of school. He's now going to start at $20,000 because that was how much the investing tutor was earning at that time when I went full time into the investing tutor. And I'll never forget my wife, like a tear dropped down her face. She's like, won't you apply for another job? And I was just like, just with everything I've experienced, I know that this is what I'm supposed to do. And, it wasn't an easy start, but, I've made it, I've made it here. Going from bottom 10% to top 1% in America,
Wow.
And it's just been life-changing. Applying what I have learned, began investing in 2011. I bought Netflix in 2011. At that time, Netflix stock was about $50. Today, Netflix is over $600 or $700 or so, right? I also purchased Bitcoin for the first time in 2017 when it was $1,000. Today, Bitcoin is $100,000. And I believe Bitcoin is going to $1 million, and then it's going to go to $10 million. And individuals will be like, hey, no one ever told me this thing is going to 1 million, right? So to boil it all down, investing is putting money into a vehicle for growth. So then the question is, what's the vehicle? The two vehicles I want individuals to focus on today, the stock market and then digital assets. With the stock market, we've talked about getting access to the entire US economy.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
You know, and then a few individual companies that you love. And in terms of digital assets, just keep it very, very, very simple. Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin.
But Dr. Hans, let's now switch gears and talk about this digital currency. Because therefore, you all have heard when it comes to stock market, simple as he put it, invest, buy stocks in things that you use personally, whether it's things, your cars, things that you love, that you're constantly pushing money into. He's explained it. Cash App is one of the platforms you can use to purchase stocks. But digital currency is something that's very new, and it might be very new to a lot of viewers and listeners right now. When we say digital currency, yes, what is it?
Yeah, most individuals will say digital currency, but I want us to replace the word currency with property, because in that instance, it makes it more understandable, right? So in 2009, an anonymous person that no one knows went onto this chat platform and said, I've been working on this peer-to-peer system. So a system that allows one person to send something to another person. And that individual shared with the world his or her plan for Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the first digital currency, like you said, Oba, but I want to switch the word currency for asset or property. So Bitcoin is the first digital property. For every Ghanaian listening to me, or for everyone listening to me, right? I want you to imagine you could own a small plot of land in Manhattan, right? How valuable would that be? Imagine if you had enough money to maybe just buy a small space where maybe just one car can park in Manhattan, and maybe you are earning $40 a day from just that small space, right? Imagine what that would do for you. But here's the truth. They don't sell Manhattan in small spaces like I'm just describing, where you can own like a small spot where maybe one car can park. You need to have millions of dollars to buy maybe one plot or 1 acre. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Bitcoin is a digital version of Manhattan, or Bitcoin is a digital version of Accra, or Bitcoin is a digital version of Japan, Mexico, whatever city you want to use as a reference. Why am I using cities as a reference? The same way as Ghanaians, we value plots of land, but people don't even understand, why do we value plots of land? It's because there's a limited number of plots of land in a particular city, and once it's bought, it's bought. Over time, it increases in value because individuals in that country over time are earning more money. So because more people are earning more money, there's a higher willingness to pay for that same property by the individuals in that country, right? So a scarce property with increasing or rising wages causes the value of that thing to increase. Bitcoin is a digital version of that. The only difference is it is accessible to everyone on earth, which means Bitcoin is more valuable than Accra. Bitcoin is more valuable than Manhattan. Bitcoin is more valuable than the city in Mexico. Why? Because all 8 billion people can have access to this property because it's digital. It can be held on a smartphone, right? But guess what? Only about 4% of the world understands Bitcoin today. Imagine what will happen when a majority of the world understands it, that they can own a digital property on their phone. They don't like, it is going to be one of the greatest wealth creation avenues for so many individuals who pay attention. What is happening, and I'm someone who follows very closely what's happening. What's happening is that financial institutions, the very rich and wealthy financial institutions like the Goldman Sachs, the JP Morgan, the Deutsche Banks, right, the Bernsteins, they've started to tell their clients, hey, you need to go and buy this Bitcoin thing because it's the next big thing. So they are focused on pushing this information to the rich and wealthy, and they are going to be doing that for the next 3 to 4 years. So rich and wealthy people are going to be plowing all of their money into this asset. But guess what? This asset is significantly scarce. I haven't even said something. There will only be 21 million plots of Bitcoin. 21 million plots of Bitcoin that will ever be there. But here's the thing. One plot today costs about $100,000. In 2017, that same plot was what? $1,000. So someone might be hearing this and they'll say, Dr. Hans, $100,000 for one plot. Does it mean I cannot buy any? No, it doesn't mean that. Today, you can buy $10 of Bitcoin if you want. That means you are going to own $10 of that $100,000 plot. Or you can buy $100 of that $100,000 block, or $1,000 of that block. And whatever piece you buy, you own it forever. That is what makes this asset incredibly unique. Out of that 21 million, if you buy 10% of 100,000, which is $1,000, right? Mm-hmm. You are owning that 10% of a full Bitcoin block or a full Bitcoin plot. You are owning that forever. You can pass it on for multiple generations to come. It's just such a unique asset. And looking at how the rich and wealthy are so focused on this, I want to make sure people in our community do not miss it.
So when it comes to Bitcoin, I mean, people were saying like, what do you say to people who tell you, say, oh, that coin is, too many people that you're not going to get anything from it. So just go to another coin. Like there's so many other coins. Bitcoin has a max. And once it reaches its max, you can't really gain anything from it. Like, can you clarify that a bit more?
Yeah, there are so many other coins. There's Dogecoin, there's XRP, there's Solana, there's Ethereum. There's so many other coins. Individuals who are saying that once Bitcoin gets to its max, you won't gain anything from it. It's a lack of an understanding of what they are saying. Bitcoin is close to its max. Here's the truth. The 21 million Bitcoin plots, right? Mm-hmm. I'll say about 95% of it has already been taken. Okay? It's already been taken. But it doesn't mean that you cannot go and buy that 95%. You can. The question is, at what price would someone want to sell it? Because it's been purchased. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So that 95 has already been purchased. And over the next 100 years, the remaining 5% will slowly become available. What that means is that you have an asset or a property or plots of this digital thing that is really, really scarce. So when I say Bitcoin could go to 1 million, even though it's almost complete, it's because if more people understand it and they want to buy it, that demand is going to push the price very high. The price has to go high until it reaches a point where someone would want to sell, right? Okay. For example, me sitting here right now, I'm not I'm not selling any of my Bitcoin, maybe less than $5 million. Okay, I'm not touching even a penny of it, right? That Bitcoin, maybe I'm not even ever going to sell it, because at a certain point, maybe banks will allow me to use it as collateral.
Okay.
To go and borrow money, right? So maybe I wouldn't even need to sell it, right? Or maybe banks will say, oh, bring us your Bitcoin so that we pay you maybe 4% or 5% every single month. Like, once the financial system begins to understand this asset, right? I believe there's just going to be many individuals wanting it. It's going to shoot the price up significantly. And I just don't want individuals to miss out. But for anyone who wants to learn more about this, there's a book on Barnes & Noble's Amazon. It's called The Bitcoin Standard. The Bitcoin Standard, right? You can go and order that book. But if you are eager to begin learning this evening, check out the website hope.com. Hope.com, because Bitcoin is hope. There's lots of videos, professional written investment reports, tons of video, like lessons on there as well with regards to Bitcoin.
Wow. Let's take some questions from our listeners before we continue. This is from Facebook. Margaret Yadom said, so do you think banks put money in the stock market? What are risks involved in investing in stock market? This is from Margaret Yadom.
Margaret is asking if banks put money in the stock market. The banks themselves are stocks on the stock market. Bank of America is a stock. JP Morgan is a stock. Wells Fargo is a stock, right? So the banks themselves, because their businesses, they are stocks. So if individuals don't trust the stock market, it would be like not trusting banks because literally the banks are stocks. So yes, not only are banks themselves stocks, banks also offer the ability for their customers to buy stocks. And over the next 1 to 2 years, banks will offer their customers the ability to buy Bitcoin. It's going to happen, driving even further demand. Absolutely, it's going to happen. I believe it's going to happen in 2025, but I always like to be conservative to say 1 to 2 years. But yes, look out for it.
Wait, you said banks are going to what?
Banks are going to allow you to buy Bitcoin directly in your bank account in 2025. But if it doesn't happen in 2025, it's going to happen in 2026.
I hope you guys are listening to this wisdom. So if you don't have any stocks, if you don't have any crypto, please, Dr. Hans is available to chat. He actually has a class, I believe, coming up. We'll share that information later on so that you can really learn to really plan your future well and be financially free. Now, I know you also help people with retirement. Is this all part of it with the whole stocks and you know, the whole how to manage and properly invest? Is it all towards, you know, retirement? Yes, you retire near Ghana, near rested, but what's your take on that?
Yeah, you better be going to Ghana with more than just a plot of land and a house that you've built. And hopefully you didn't build that house 30 years before you actually retired, because then you'll be retiring to an old home, right? So, yes, I am able to help individuals in retirement as well. I would prefer to get and educate individuals before they reach retirement, right? Because when a person reaches retirement, more than likely they're on a fixed income, like a social security or things like that. They just have very little wiggle room to be able to exponentially build wealth. But yes, if an individual is at retirement, I'm still able to help them, especially if they have, let's say, give and take about 5 to 10 years to really get serious about investing. For everyone else, though, yes, begin investing as soon as possible. I'll say the most
early should one, how early should we be getting our youth involved in investing? Do you think we're going to be seeing classes being offered in high schools when it comes to stocks and investment? I know some schools probably do it, some private schools, but how soon are we going to also go outside and see kiosks of Bitcoins and all these cryptocurrency where do you think physical money is going to be obsolete?
I don't think physical money is going to be obsolete in the next, let's call it maybe 3 to 5 years. But I do see, like similar to what you are saying about Bitcoin, I do see many kiosks in Ghana, maybe
in Ghana.
Yeah. I would say maybe in about, let's call it 2 to 5 years of people selling Bitcoin like they sell mobile money and things of that nature. I can see that actually happening. I can really see that happening. This thing is really, it's such a big deal. I started learning about Bitcoin and digital assets in 2017. And on average, I spend about 4 hours every single day studying this space. So if you can imagine studying this space for almost 7 to 8 years, like there's so much I can share on this call, right? Because of just the time limitation. What I will say is, for everyone listening, if you haven't made a concerted effort to prioritize investing, please do. Once you make that decision, start with your job. Go and find out, do they offer some kind of retirement accounts? Maybe it's 401k, or maybe in UK or Europe, it's a different name. Go and start there. Begin investing there. From there, you move into like a Robinhood or a Cash App. Then you begin investing. You can start with the investment funds, and then some stocks, and then some digital assets. But when it comes to digital assets, like I'm saying, for simplicity reason, we focus just on Bitcoin, right? And yeah, I just hope that's very simple and straight to the point for individuals.
Yeah. So there's a question on Zoom from Teresa. Teresa said, I have used Robinhood for years, but have not benefited much. What other things should I do?
Yeah, when Teresa says I've used Robinhood for years and I haven't benefited much, I'm like just thinking in my head, are we using like different? The difference is what you are buying. Okay, that's why you haven't benefited much. What investments are you buying, right? Because I am using Robinhood also, and I have investments that are up about 180%, 170% this year, right? There's this member in my program who started with about $29,000 at the beginning of the year or a year ago, and they have about $320,000 now, right? So they've grown their portfolio by by $290,000, right? So what you buy makes a big difference, right? So I say all of that to say, even though this sounds very attractive, the big numbers, you have to start small. And starting small means begin to invest. So you're on here, you're like, oh, Dr. Hans talked about Bitcoin. So maybe I'm just going to go and buy some Bitcoin, right? And please be careful. There are lots of scams out there. So you want to go to a legitimate platform like Robinhood or Cash App, right? And stay within the confines of those platforms to own your digital property.
Wow. Another one from AK on Zoom said, what are the tax implications of investing in stocks?
There's no tax implications by just buying and holding stocks. The tax that will be paid on the investment is when you sell it, right? So the government wants its cut. So if you buy shares or stocks and then it increases, the government might want to take 15%, 15% of the gains, or maybe it might be 20%. But, you know, depending on your income, you are either paying your income tax rate or you are paying about 15% 6% on the gains. Now, if you invest and you lose money, the government will actually give you money back when you file taxes.
Okay,
Yeah.
that sounds good.
Most people don't know that also. Yeah, they will
Because
literally.
a lot of people think when, there's risk to take. So if you lose the money, I didn't even know this. So what you're saying is if you sell, you pay tax. But if you lose, you gain it back when you file.
So when you sell and you've gained, you pay a percentage on the gain.
Okay.
If you sell at a loss, the government allows you to deduct a portion of those losses. It's a little bit complicated, but the simple way to put it is the government will allow you to deduct some of those losses to reduce your taxes.
Wow. I am I'm loving this. John from Zoom said if you're in the UK, choose stocks in ISA, Vanguard, Hargrove, or Trade 12. Okay.
Yep. So Trade 212 is similar to like a Robinhood.
212, yes.
Yes, and is it Hargreaves? I don't know how to pronounce that, but that's a very popular company that individuals can use to invest in the UK, right? And ISA, I believe, is one of their retirement accounts, the designation of it.
Wow. So Dr. Tons, a young man, high school, working, minimum wage, how do they start? What should they buy? I know you said to buy what they love, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to put myself in the shoes of an 18-year-old.
Yes.
Okay, starting to invest. I'll take my money and I'll put half of every. Let's say I'm earning, I don't know, $5,000 a month. And I'm starting, well, $5,000, an 18-year-old won't be earning that. So let's say $2,000, a month. The rule is you take 10% of your income and then you invest it, right? So 10% of the 2,000 is about $200. I'll put 100, so half of that money straight into Bitcoin. And this is me sharing my personal strategy, okay? This strategy might not work for most people. It's just because I understand Bitcoin, so I'm very comfortable doing that. So I'll put half of that into Bitcoin. And then the remaining half, in all honesty, it can get a little bit complicated. I can say I'll put some in investment funds, I'll put some in stocks, right? But it will confuse the audience a little bit. So I just want to keep it very simple. So I'm going to put 100% into Bitcoin, and then I'll put the remaining $100 into just two companies that I love, okay? So one of them I'll put, let's say Tesla. I'll put $50 in Tesla. And the remaining half, trying to see what other company would I buy? So many companies going through my mind.
Apple.
What is it?
Apple is a $3 trillion company, so doesn't have a lot of growth from here. Whereas Tesla, even though Tesla is a large company, Tesla has manufactured about 7 million cars. But the car market has hundreds of millions of cars out there. So Tesla still has ways to grow. Not to mention, Tesla is also creating an autonomous robot that can be purchased by individuals all over the world.
So scary.
As employees, as caretakers. It can mow your lawn, it can drop your kids off at school. So that's a huge, significant market opportunity there as well. I just don't see a similar opportunity at that size for Apple right now, right? So when I say Tesla, even though Tesla is a relatively large company, I still believe that it has tremendous potential. The truth is, for the second company, so many names are going through my mind right now. So just to keep it simple, I would say that I'll put half of the money in Tesla and then half of the money into Bitcoin. It is a very, 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 very risky way to invest, but I'm comfortable with that level of risk because I understand what I own.
Wow.
A much better way to invest, if I was a completely different person, would be put 50% of that money into the IVV, which is the S&P 500. Then maybe put 25% into Bitcoin, 25% into Tesla. That would be much better. Less risk, less volatility, but also less wealth creation, right? Because one portfolio, which is more aggressive, could earn me 2 million, 5 million, 10 million if it does well, versus the other one might get me about 1 million. And I'm saying about 1 million as if it's very small, but it's a huge, right? It's a huge difference.
Wow. All right. There's a few questions here. Someone said, I am a freshman in college in the US. How do I start? Someone said S&P in the UK, Robinhood, it's protected by the Financial Conduct Authority. I'm still in the learning stage of learning investment. It's 2025, okay. C. Dacon said that. So she's a college student, Dr. Hans. She's a college student and she wants to learn.
Yeah, I've laid out the blueprint. Essentially, I imagined I was 18 and I laid out kind of the strategy that I would use. And I also laid out a less volatile one with adding the S&P and an alternative, which is just more aggressive. And but here's the truth about at the end of the day, if someone doesn't sit down to learn, right, what's going to happen is that the stock market can be volatile at any point, or Bitcoin can be volatile at any point. Volatile meaning it can drop 50% at some point in the future. And someone who hasn't taken the time to learn and educate themselves, they are going to panic and then they are going to sell their investments.
Yes.
This is why it's so important to educate yourself, right? So I can't stress that enough. Begin the journey of learning, right? Get Rich Dad, Poor Dad, begin to read. Follow me on Instagram. Join the class that I'll be hosting on the 29th. The website is pleasehelpmeinvest.com, right? And just do whatever you can to learn, because once you learn, it builds your own confidence so that you can stay committed for the long term.
Dr. Hans, what about our parents who are here in the States or in the UK or in Ghana, they're in retirement right now. Is it too late for them?
If they have about 5 to 10 years, will have a window of opportunity to be able to accelerate their growth, unlike anything that they've ever seen before. I am someone who is not necessarily partisan. I don't have any emotional ties to politics. I'm just a student of the economy. A few announcements were made by the incoming administration for the US. They are taking power, I believe, next month. The individuals who are running the incoming administration, the majority of them are from Silicon Valley, from Stanford. Like, they are venture capitalists. These are the individuals who are running the incoming administration. I mean, the most common one that you might see out there is Elon Musk. You know, people might have the opinion about him. Pay attention. The tech people are going to be running this incoming administration, meaning that tech investors are going to make so much money over the next 5 to 10 years. So if there's anyone listening to me right now in retirement and they have 5 to 10 years, all I'll say to them is have a long-term focus, begin to invest as soon as possible, follow my work, connect with me, and just begin the process of setting yourself up for success.
Wow. You heard it from the one and only Dr. Hans. Knowledge has been spilled today. So who knew how to invest? Reach out to Dr. Hans. If you are at your prime right now, you're working, just like he said, someone as young as 18 years old can invest. said, you know, right now we thank God for digital and Nehemiah. We can hop on our phones, we can see things people are posting. Dr. Hans has a beautiful platform on Instagram. He's also on Facebook. He has a few YouTube. He's also on YouTube. Knowledge is power. So if you have an opportunity, hop on to social media, reach out to Dr. Hans. He will be more than happy to direct you, to help you to invest in the right product. How do I buy? Where do I begin? This is the opportunity to become a millionaire. He's giving you his backstory. There's more to this whole thing we're seeing right now. I always say, wow, am I living one day, your mama will be like, oh, my grandmother should have done this, or I should have done this. Why didn't grandpa or grandma do this? This is your opportunity to build that generational wealth. This is so it. So don't waste time. We'll go on, we'll open the lines up and see if anybody has any questions for Dr. Hans. I know we don't have much time, but this has been wonderful. So do we have any questions? All right, Richard, you have your hands up. Please go ahead.
Thank you very much, Doc, for the presentation. Very really appreciate it. I have Wealth Simple. How good is that? And also, just so you know, I have just sent for your program on the 29th. I want to find out, how do I connect with you, like personally? If I want to stay in touch, how do I do that?
Yeah, Wealth Simple is a phenomenal platform in Canada. It's one of the ones that I would say recommend for individuals. Yeah, on the 29th, I'll be teaching. It's about an hour and a half class diving into actual investing. So for those of you who want to join, the website again is pleasehelpmeinvest.com. So www.pleasehelpmeinvest.com. And if you want to connect with me on Instagram or Facebook, it is The Investing Tutor. The Investing Tutor.
I don't have.
Yeah.
I'll see if I can connect with you on
yeah. And that's the best way to connect with me. I read every single DM that comes my way. And if I'm not able to see it, my assistant will be able to bring it to my attention so that I don't miss anything. But yeah, I would say Instagram DMs are the best way to reach me. Once again, I'm at The Investing Tutor on Instagram. The Investing Tutor, THE Investing Tutor, TUTOR.
Is it one word or just separated?
One word.
Got it.
So
yes, and if you go to a bar's page, you know, in several of the most recent posts, we're kind of tagged or collaborators on that post. So you should be able to find me.
Yes,
got it.
For sure.
Thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Mr. Glover. So if we can type Dr. Hans's handles also in the chat, that would be wonderful. Robert is asking, please, how do I join the class? So Dr. Hans, if you can, I guess, reiterate again how people can join the class. Ernest, you have your hands up. You have a question? Go ahead. Ernest?
Yes. So thank you for the opportunity. So I would like to be part of a class on the website, pleasehelpmeinvest.com on the 29th. I just want to know the time. I'm on the West Coast in California. So
yeah, all the information is on the website. It's 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So I'm guessing it's about 4 p.m. in Cali.
Okay, perfect. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Ernest. Any more questions? So again, we've posted the link in the chat. It's www.pleasehelpmeinvest.com. I'm telling you, please use this opportunity. Don't miss out on this wave of knowledge. And I don't know, I feel as if sometimes I'm in a twilight zone. What is happening with the robotics and technology? And I really don't want to miss out on any opportunity to also be the top 10%. So again, the website to register for Dr. Hans's class is www.pleasehelpmeinvest.com. Dr. Hans.
I'll share this as a parting message for everyone to think about this, right? If you think about the future, right, do you think that the future is going to be more digital, or do you think the future is going to be more physical, like physical property or physical things like gold, like hard things, right? And if in your mind you're like, oh, obviously the future is going to be more digital, right? The next question is, do I own any digital property? And that's when it hits you that you don't own wealth for the future.
It's like, aha!
And something has to change.
Yes. But last question though, someone said this, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. Is there a possibility of the whole, because everything is computer digital, is there a possibility it could possibly like crash?
What can crash?
Whatever, because it's technology, right? It's digital stuff.
Mm.
Can it collapse somehow and you'll lose your money? Digital currency? Can you, just like you lose money, can something happen in whatever the world is and can you lose money? Can you lose
the Bitcoin network is more secure than Google, Apple, Facebook, Microsoft, Tesla, name all of your top American companies combined. The Bitcoin network is even more powerful than the US entire military and army, all the equipments that they use. So as someone who studied this technology, trust me when I say that, yes, could the US and all the internet in the US crash? I guess you could say maybe there's a little possibility that the entire internet infrastructure can crash. Sure. Could the entire Bitcoin infrastructure crash also? If the US entire internet structure can crash, there's a small possibility that Bitcoin's entire network can crash. There's a possibility that banks will lose everyone's money. I mean, if you believe those kind of things, then I would say, sure, you can also believe that something will happen to Bitcoin. But if you can wake up every single day and know that if you open your WhatsApp, it's going to send a message. Or if you send a Momo transaction through tap, that is going to get to the other person on the other side, right? If you use Instagram, you're going to see posts. If you believe that, then Bitcoin is 1,000 times more secure than any of those platforms.
Okay, I see. Wow, knowledge is indeed power. The time has fast approached us. Oh my goodness. Dr. Hans, what an honor it is to have you on this show tonight. I'm sure, sir, after this, many people will be reaching out and calling you again if you need access to Dr. Hans Boateng. He is on Instagram. He is on Facebook, YouTube. His handle is The Investing Tutor. The Investing Tutor. Once you type that in, even if you go on Google and you type it in, his face, his image, everything will pop up. Please don't lose sight of this knowledge and invest. Don't keep all that money in the bank while the bank is using your money to invest. So again, Dr. Hans, God bless you so much for taking the time out of your day to educate us on cryptocurrency. I'm sure our people will reach out for sure. Thank you so much. Are there any more questions coming in? Does anybody have their hands up? If not, I want to say thank you, Dr. Hans, once again. If you have any last minute words or anything to say, go ahead. If not, God bless you again.
Oh no, thank you so much. I have to go back to family, but Oba, thank you for giving me this platform. And also just going back to Maryland, what Maryland shared still is on my heart. I'll be reaching out about to get more details about what they are doing there and to see how I can support.
Thank you so much, Dr. Hans. Thank you. Have a wonderful night. Therefore, Yeshono has come to an end officially. Thank you all so much once again for giving me the honor on this platform. Next week, we will meet again right here, 6 p.m. Eastern sharp, 11 p.m. UK and Ghana time. Of course, I'm filling in for the one and only PK, who is on vacation at the moment, but we want to say thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedules and joining us on HRE TV. Same time next week, please join us and we'll take a short break, or I'll leave the platform to our Tap Send directors to also chime in tonight. I believe we have a surprise for people, right, A-Class?
Yes, we do.
For those of you who stuck around so that we still have more people listening. So I leave the platform over to you, A-Class and Mr. Daniel.
All right.
Your favorite way to send money to Ghana is back. We're excited to announce that Tap Send is back and better than ever. After a brief pause, we are happy to resume our mission of providing fast, affordable, and secure money transfers to Ghana. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Tap Send is working power. And remember, tell your loved ones abroad to send money through Tap Send to stand a chance to win big in the December Sambra promo. Tap Send. Papa no no.